Welcome to the Developing Values and Principles of Health and Social Care Practice module. My name is Afreen Khalid and I am a Health and Social Care lecturer here at Scholar School System. I will be conducting presentations for this module. This current session will provide you with essential information regarding the module requirements. Please do have a notepad and pen present with you so you are able to make some notes. Before I start, I would like to emphasize that this module highly reflects upon placement and elements related to placement. Additionally, as part of this module, it is a requirement for you to complete 4 assessments. I would like to emphasize that all 4 assessments are equally important in order for you to attain an overall grade for this module. In order for you to pass these assessments, it's important that you meet and achieve these learning outcomes. Upon completing or working towards these modules, you would have been able to understand the following. You'd be able to understand the importance of communication skills, values, and awareness of equality and diversity and how they are a necessity for health and social care practice. In further elements of the assessments, you will also be exploring and understanding the importance of person-centered care and how this promotes positive outcomes for the health and well-being of individuals. Moving on, you will also be able to distinguish the difference between codes of conduct and ethics in a health and social care practice. Having said this, a wide range of communication skills and values and awareness will also be explored throughout specified assessments. In the next few slides, I intend on elaborating further. There are specified slides for each assessment, so I'll elaborate on how you will meet these learning outcomes within that assessment. Moving on to the next slide. This is a direct link to the module handbook. Please do open and have a read as all essential information is also outlined within this module handbook. Having said this, the assignment briefs could also be accessed via Moodle. All students must have access to the Moodle accounts. If you are having trouble with this, please contact the academic support team as soon as possible so that they are able to assist you as promptly as possible. Emergency First Aid at Home. During this module, you will be asked to complete an Emergency First Aid certificate. This is an additional certificate and is not a requirement for the module. However, it is essential for your professional development and you will be able to use this certificate for future endeavours. Please do keep an eye on Moodle so you are able to receive the link and are then able to access this certificate and complete it. This next slide provides a breakdown of how your lecturers intend on delivering the content to you. As you are all aware by now, this module consists of 4 assessments. Therefore, it is important that yourselves as students are taking accountability and ensuring that all tasks are followed efficiently and in a timely manner in order to avoid missing deadlines. The first assessment is known as the Professional Portfolio Care Certificate. A care certificate consists of 15 standards. They are all vastly different. Yourselves as students will be looking into and exploring each standard. You will then complete an assessment for each standard to demonstrate your subject knowledge on all specified standards. You will have the option of doing your care certificate during your placement block, where you will seek the opportunity of getting to doing your work placement whilst also doing your care certificate as well. Your work placement mentors will also be able to sign off each element of the standard for you. Moving on to how you are now able to access your care certificate and how you would be able to complete this. All students could access this through the NHS e-learning for healthcare website. Your lecturer will support you further in registering an account on here. Once you have a registered account, you will then need to follow the instruction as mentioned on the slide, which is to search for the care certificate and then click onto the care certificate icon. And this will then be saved onto your menu where you can access it widely. You would then need to click onto the care certificate icon, which is the following. Once you do this, Once you see this, you will see an array of standards. It is compulsory for you to click onto each individual standard starting from standard 1 up until standard 15. When you click onto the first standards, it will be presented like the following for you. You must then click onto play, which is as I am showing over here. After you click onto play, this screen will then come up for you. You must ensure that all five chapters of this section is completed. The last chapter of this section is the e-assessment. Here you must complete a test based upon your knowledge on this standard. You will be assessed for this and your overall grade will reflect upon whether or not you will achieve a certificate for this standard. You will do the same for all standards, and once you have completed it, you must go back to your activity, which will then be at the top. And click certificates. This will assist you to the care certificate. You must click on this and ensure that you are downloading a certificate for each standard through clicking on the yellow paper icon. This is what your certificate for each individual standard will look like. As you can see by this example, the student completed standard 1 of the care certificate, which is understanding your role. So this is just one certificate. You must remember that all 15 certificates must be downloaded and saved into a zip file, where you will then be able to compress your file and upload it onto Moodle. Your lecturer will work with you and explain this in a more efficient manner inside class with you. Moving on now to assessment 2. This is a 1500 word case study assignment. You will be given the option to choose one case study out of 3. Upon doing this, you will then examine and outline how 3 health and social care principles and values apply to one person in your case study. You can use examples to elaborate. For example, as listed on the presentation, you could apply duty of care, safeguarding and person-centered care to demonstrate how these principles and values would support a specified person in your case study. I intend on elaborating and explaining these case studies in my further presentations. As for now, I'm only providing you with a brief outline of the assessment requirements. Furthermore, assessment 3 is a work placement or challenge. Placements are a limited period of time in which yourselves as students are required to work in the health and social care field. As previously mentioned, this could be voluntary work or paid opportunity. The specified hours which yourselves as students are required to do is 50 hours. This could be you doing voluntary work or perhaps working in a high-skilled role. In order for you to pass this, it will be based upon your employer feedback forms, your health and safety checklist, and your work placement confirmation forms. You will be working directly with your tutors and also your placement officers in order to ensure that all three of these forms are submitted onto Moodle and that the right information is delegated onto these forms. As students, I must remind you that your work placements must be in a health and social care settings, such as working in a residential care home, a community daycare centre, working in a hospital, or working as a support advisor. Again, I intend to explain placements more thoroughly in my next few presentations. Moving on now to Assessment 3, which is a professional challenge or work placement. As I previously mentioned, the placements team and My Futures will help support you to access a placement. You can make an individual appointment with them to discuss, and they will also be regularly checking in on you in regards to your placement to ensure that you have secured a placement, to ensure that it is within the right field as well. To move on to Assessment 4 now, Reflective Statement, which is 1,500 words. In this 1,500 word essay, it is a requirement for you to choose a reflective model and relate it to your personal experiences or encounters at placement. So you'd be looking at a particular model and relating it back to your personal experiences. In the next few recordings, I will be explaining and going through a range of reflection models which you can explore and look into. Upon reflecting upon your work experiences, you'll be looking into things which went good for you as a student and things which went bad for you as a student, and overall you will be combining that into an essay format. Overall, this summarizes our points for this first recording. As you are all taking in this information, could I ask you to please prepare for the next few presentations by having a read through the assignment briefs onto Moodle. Thank you very much for listening.